Welcome to Rachel Uncensored, one of the few places on the internet that you, right there, listening or watching, can find an uncensored version of me. Hello, I am Rachel, and welcome back to another solo episode. How's everybody doing today? I don't know if you could hear that, but Blaze thought right now would be the perfect time to drink some of his water. There he goes. Now he's here. Blaze boy, dog of the day. Getting comfy on his couch. I'm washing all his blankets right now, so the couch is not to his liking. I apologize, good sir, but I gotta clean your stink every once in a while. I actually want to shampoo the armrests of that couch. If you watch my vlog channel, the armrests are caked in like blood muck from him. His jowls get these little creases, and sometimes they bleed. And then when he lays his head on stuff, blood gets on it. It's disgusting, and I couldn't stop it, so I just let it happen. It doesn't seem like his jowls are doing that anymore. I think he might have like cut them because he was eating the tree a lot. So I need to wash my couch. But that was a disgusting conversation. Hi. How's everybody doing? Let's jump into some things, shall we? Let's start with a joke of the day. This one is a medium length. I hope you like it. A guy is sitting at home and he hears a knock at the door. He saunters on over, opens the door, and he sees a snail on the porch. Confusing. He picks up the snail and throws it as far as he can. You don't want a snail at your house, in your yard. It eats your plants and stuff. A year later, there is another knock at the door. He opens it and he sees the same snail. And the snail says, "What was that all about?" You get it? Because it took the snail a year to make it all the way back to yell at this guy. That's it. That's the joke. It's not too impressive, but I thought it was worth the chuckle. I find these online, all right? I'm not making these up myself. So don't get too mad at me if you didn't like it. Okay, and there's quite a few things I have learned this week on the interwebs. One is that active volcanoes were on the moon when dinosaurs were alive. How do they know this? I don't know. Couldn't tell you, but they know it, and now it is fact. There were volcanoes on the moon when dinosaurs were alive. I don't understand volcanoes. It's the middle of the earth spewing out. That doesn't seem safe, because it's not. And how come sometimes they erupt and sometimes they don't? It has to do with like the shifting of the earth. I don't know anything about them. Clearly. I don't know why I'm asking questions as if I'm going to get an answer from you at this moment. But seriously, why are they? How'd they go away? Wait, there were volcanoes on the moon when the dinosaurs were alive. What happened to the volcanoes? Where'd they go? Why'd they stop existing? I should have looked into this more. I just read that and was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about it. And now I'm thinking about it because I'm talking about it. I also learned, I think this is a thing that people know. Abraham Lincoln was a licensed bartender. As am I. After college, I wanted to be a bartender. I didn't really drink much either, but I thought that was perfect because I can be around alcohol and not be tempted to drink. So I actually got my bartending license right after college, and I tried to get a job and I couldn't. It meant absolutely nothing. I went to this crash course. It was like a month-long course, 6-week course. Did it, aced it. I didn't feel confident in it at all because bartending is something you have to do constantly in order to get really good at it. And a 6-week course, I'm in a very low pressure environment. There's not music going at me. There's not drunk people screaming at me. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I got licensed and I tried to go out and get a job as a bartender, and every place just was like, no, you don't have any experience. I was like, well, how do I get experience if no one will hire me? You know, people run into this issue all the time. And so then I started applying to be a bar back. You know, because a lot of people say, oh, we hire from within. And so I was like, okay, I'll be a bar back. That should be easy. I'm just stocking the bar and running and being a busser. I can do that. Still, no one would hire me. So I was like, okay, all right. I'm a 21, 22-year-old girl that wasn't, I wasn't a looker. I've never been ugly in my life. I'm attractive. But you know how there's that little oomph people have that makes them attractive and getting really good at getting tips? I didn't have that. I was closeted and not comfortable with myself. And so I really couldn't get a job anywhere. I had no experience. I just had the license. I was trying. I applied to a lot of different places. And I even started applying as a hostess again. I was a hostess in high school. I was like, okay, what if I become a hostess at a place and then maybe then I could move to server or the bartender or bar back. Maybe I just have to be within I couldn't get a job anywhere. I don't know. I had one interview. I put my resume everywhere. I got one interview and apparently I butchered it. I don't know. This is a sad fact, but it is, a fact. Most jobs come from connections. You just know someone. You know someone that has a restaurant, that has a bar. Your friend has an inn who already works there and they'll vouch for you. That's usually how a lot of things happen. Unless you get a lot of experience. But you can't get experience unless someone will hire you. But no one will hire you if you don't have any experience. It's a catch-22 business. So I'm glad I didn't get the job, because then I probably wouldn't have ended up working for Colleen, which led me to this career. Everything works. And the only reason I got in on this career is because my sister gave me a leg up. So I'm aware. I'm a Nepo sibling, very well aware. But I did put in the work, and I'm still here for some reason. Just cruising. Anyway, that was my what I learned this week. Oh, there is one more thing I learned. Actually, two. We'll just go over it all. During his lifetime, Vincent van Gogh is known to have sold only a single painting. I always wonder, because I know art is subjective, and if you declare yourself an artist and you create art, it is therefore art. I had a friend that was a art major in college, and I always was like, well, what defines art? And she goes, once you declare art, it is art. My brain couldn't comprehend it. Now I kind of get it. But Vincent van Gogh only sold a single painting while he was alive. Now he's a famous painter. We all know Vincent van Gogh. How does that happen? Because I'm sure there are a lot of painters, artists, whatever, that are way, way more talented than the famous artists who are selling their stuff for bagillions of dollars. Does it have to do with marketing? Because I've gone through museums. I've been to a Vincent van Gogh museum. And I was like, okay, cute. Art, got it. But how did he get so famous? How was it him? Like when he died, then everyone was like, oh, his stuff is worth it. Yeah. Like, how does that happen? I know there are so many artists creating art and trying to do galleries and stuff in New York and blah, blah. Is it just chance? Is it, again, the same thing as where you have to have an in? You have to know somebody? There are people that are selling blank canvases, or canvases with just a dot on it. I'm not disrespecting the artists, or I'm not trying to. You might take it as disrespectful. I'm saying, how do those people get more famous than other people? Because I can see when someone's really talented, obviously, and I can see art is all subjective. It's all different. There's so many different forms of art. But how does a person become Vincent van Gogh famous? I feel as though there were probably other artists at his time with the same skill level. So how did he get famous? I think it has to do with marketing. Someone's just got to say it. Because I've known people, photographers, who this was their base package. Like they shot weddings, and this was their base package, blah, blah, blah. And then one day they decided, I'm just going to triple my price and take less clients. And people thought, oh, that person's more expensive. This photographer's more expensive. They must be worth more. I mean, their photography is amazing. I love it. It's actually is really unique. But they just decided one day they were worth more, and people went, oh, okay, you're worth more? Got it. It is so crazy to me how that happens. Because sometimes it's not based on talent. Again, her photography is amazing and really unique, and she's good at what she does. But she just decided to up her price 3%. What? She decided to quadruple her price. There it is. And then everyone was like, yes, you are more valuable now. It's so insane. And that has to do, like, there's a lot of things like that. We just decide to start making things more expensive, and therefore they are. But I really think it's like someone just declares, this is really impressive. This is art. This is great. And everyone's like, oh, okay. Goes along with it. Again, I love art. And I think if you can make it as an artist, kudos to you. I have utmost respect. Kind of jealous. There was also this Instagram I saw of this person posting, I saw a TikTok bro, like finance bro, saying like, I'm scamming people. I found this hack. I just buy shitty art at, Goodwill or like at a garage sale. And then I just add to it and I sell it online for a lot more. And he's like adding textures and paint and switching it up, putting it in different frames. And he goes, and I'm labeling it as art, and people are buying it for way more than I bought it for. Like, I'm scamming people, life hack, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, bro, you're just doing art. You're currently making it as an artist. And that's art. And it's so confusing to me. And again, if you can do that, I love it. I am not an artist by any means. I look at a blank canvas and I'm like, I don't know. So I love that people can create. I've just noticed the value of that art and the strength of that art is not in the piece itself, but on the value that you as the artist give it. And that's crazy, but also awesome. Anyway, that's all. And I have one more thing I learned that I thought was quite interesting. Did you guys know? This is just a trivia podcast today, I guess. But electric cars have been around since the 1880s. There's quite a bit of controversy as who made the first one, or do you want to say like the first successful one? There's a lot of people who were like doing it at the same time and feeding off each other. But this is just a quick little summary that I found. The first electric car was the 1888 Flocken Electrowagon, a four-wheeled open carriage with a 1 horsepower electric motor, a rechargeable lead acid battery, and a top speed of 9 miles per hour. You think the year is a typo, but the 1800s were actually chock full of EV related innovations. So I actually looked at this and there was a bunch of controversy on who created the first electric car versus the first successful electric car and all that stuff, like I said. But this was happening. They just couldn't make it extremely powerful because they didn't have the technology and the science back then. But now our electric cars are very, very powerful. And when electric cars started coming around in the 2000s, everyone was like, this is disgusting. What do you mean? This is dumb. Gas powered for life. Some people still believe that. Okay, I don't care. Drive what you want to drive if it's legal. But electric cars, they've been trying to do this for over 100 years now. 140 years? That's crazy. I love that. 9 miles per hour. I mean, that's nice though, because if you got in a crash, you probably weren't going to die. 1 horsepower. That's insane. I thought that was really cool though. I was into it. But now I love that there's more electric cars coming out now, but they're still fine tuning it. I wouldn't say they're perfect by any means. There are people whose cars are just shutting down or malfunctioning on the freeway. Not cute. Don't like it. We still, I think, have a long way to go with them. But considering the first one in the 1880s was a 1 horsepower top speed of 9 miles per hour, I think we've gotten pretty far. I think we're almost to perfection. All right, let's check if we have a sponsor for today, and then we'll move on to what pisses me off. Sponsor. Home Chef. Home Chef is our sponsor for today. With school starting again and schedules filling fast, preparing dinner for the family can feel overwhelming. Even just preparing dinner for yourself. Too much. Can't do it. Home Chef simplifies mealtime with over 35 tasty meals and 18 delightful extras each week, including kid-friendly options for your little ones if you have those, making dinner effortless, nutritious, and family-approved no matter how busy the season gets. Home Chef delivers fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. And you know I care about the recipe ease. I get confused very quickly. And Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs, which I definitely need in my household because based on the month, my girlfriend's eating something different, and I'm always wishy-washy on my dairy. But for a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/Rachel. That is homechef.com/Rachel for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. homechef.com/Rachel. But you must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what pisses me off this week? The little piss that comes out before your condiment. I know everyone hates this. I know people talk about it on the internet. But, man, some mustard squirt ruined my sandwich the other day. Why is it, even if I shake it? Oh my God, I had a ketchup bottle. No one cares, but I'm frustrated by it. I have this ketchup bottle. I'm a Heinz girl through and through. I love me some Heinz. Perfect balance. Salty, sweet, tangy, delicious. And I've never had a problem with a Heinz bottle since they switched from the glass. Those glass bottles, I would shake it in a diner for hours and I couldn't get it out. I could probably figure it out now. I'm sure there was some finesse that I didn't understand as a 9-year-old. But we shopped at, it was a Sprouts or Whole Foods or one of the, organic natural stores. That's really expensive. And we needed ketchup, but they didn't sell any Heinz ketchup at the stores. Blasphemy. So we had to get, I think it's Hunt's or something. Buh. Okay, we're not even going to talk about the flavor. Flavor's fine. I'll handle it. But for some reason, the Hunt's bottle, when I go to squirt it's a murder scene. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go really slow this time. And I'm trying to really slow. And all of a sudden it goes, and it always squirts the lid. And because it's like one of the lids that you pop off and it stays on the bottle. And I'll hold the lid out. I'm like, you're not going to get it this time. It always manages to squirt onto the lid, squirt sideways, and then make a giant puddle on the other side of my sandwich. I've tried to clean this lid. I've tried all different types of ways to do it. A little piss or it's a rocket. And I hate it. And my Heinz bottles have never done this to me. So Hunt's, figure out your bottles because I'm not for it. Made me angry. It's making me angry. And also, the mustard bottles, I'm just having problems with condiments, apparently. The mustard bottles, they have the lids that come off but stay attached to the lid, right? To the bottle. Like the lid's attached to the lid because the lid comes apart from itself. You know what I mean. It needs to come out more because I will move it, shake it, move it, squeeze it, and somehow the lid always pops back in and I'm filling the top of that lid with mustard. Why does this happen? What is the point of it? I'm angry. I'm absolutely angry. That's all that pissed me off this week. I was having issues with condiments, and I needed to get it off my chest. All right. Freaking condiments. I was going to go on another rant. It's fine. It's fine. I'll leave it. I just am like, you'd think, I know that separation is normal, but when I shake, there should be no little liquid that comes out. It should just be condiment. And they need to figure out their lids and their squeezing mechanisms. I'm having anger. I don't need it. All right, we're going to do some more Am I the Assholes today because I've been having fun reading them. Thank you very much. Okay, this one says, am I the asshole for calling the police on my guardian and her partner after refusal to return my school Chromebook? Oh, if it's your school's property, then 100%. You're not the asshole. Sorry, 100% they're in the wrong. You're not the asshole. That came out Very wrong. That's okay. Let's read. I, a 15-year-old female, live with my dad now, but I used to live with my legal guardian, Sam, a 26-year-old, not a parent, who's about to officially lose guardianship. I moved out a while ago and all my things were returned in trash bags except for my school-issued Chromebook, which I really need for school. First day is tomorrow. Okay, I'm a little curious. I'm a curious little kitten about this entire situation. Why did they have legal guardianship of you? Why did you leave? And why did they return everything in a trash bag? So many questions, but let's keep reading. Back when I used to live with her, Sam sent me a file on it, an editor's copy of her book, and now she and her partner are refusing to return the Chromebook unless it's deleted. Okay. So there's a file on the Chromebook that they don't want you to have, and they say you're going to have the Chromebook back if you delete it. How are you supposed to delete it if they won't give you back the Chromebook? Let's continue reading. 5 days ago, I showed up and it was dead. Sam told me she'd charge it and delete the stuff so I'd have it before tomorrow. But today, I never got any update or the Chromebook, so I asked for it back when we moved my little sister's stuff from there. Sam's partner, 23-year-old, in a very hostile tone, told me I wouldn't have it for the first day of school. And said this was a boundary they were setting. Well, that's not a boundary. That's withholding someone else's property. That's not a boundary. That's theft. What do you mean? And this 15-year-old, one, is a 15-year-old, and also seems like they're just trying to get their Chromebook back and is willing to delete a file, but you're not giving her the opportunity. I'll keep reading. I didn't feel comfortable or safe, and I didn't want to argue, so I called the non-emergency police line to help resolve it calmly and legally after another warning that I needed it by tomorrow, and that was ignored. I am so confused about the adults in this situation. Why were these people your legal guardian? Why did you leave them? Why did they send you something on your Chromebook? Why aren't they helping you delete it? And why aren't they giving you the Chromebook back? I have so many questions, but I'll keep reading. Keep in mind, Sam wasn't there for whatever reason. After I called the police, she tried to call me and pressure me into giving her partner the password and ID. I said I'd delete it in front of them, wait for the police, or for her to get home, but that partner couldn't have unprecedented control over my Chromebook. You sound like you have a good sense of knowing that these people are sketchy and you shouldn't trust them with things. The officer was calm and kind, and I left with the Chromebook without issue after Sam deleted the document in front of me and the officer. I didn't care about the book or give them any reason to think I did. During the ordeal, they tried saying I was wrong for not calling Sam directly. She later claimed she was in the middle of surgery when it happened that I forced her out of, so I'm not sure what good calling her would have done anyway. Now they're making vague posts online about karma and consequences, trying to make me look like the bad guy for handling it the way I did. I just didn't want her hostile partner to have control over the device that wasn't theirs. So, am I the asshole for getting the police involved to make sure I got my school Chromebook back? No, you're 15. You're a 15-year-old. A child. A literal child. And I don't know what the fuck these people were doing. Why they weren't giving you your laptop back. That seems weird. And I think you were right for not trusting them. I want to know what your dad had to say about any of this. Also, I think calling the non-emergency hotline and just being like, hey, you didn't say arrest them. You just said, I just need my laptop back. And a police officer came and just made sure that happened. I actually think you handled that correctly. This whole thing is very confusing. I have so many questions. But when it comes to an adult withholding a child's school thing, no. That's just a no. You should not withhold supplies for school, clean clothing, or food. Ever. But let's see what the comments say. Not the asshole. It's school property. You need it for school. They had zero right to hold it hostage over some document. You handled it maturely more than they did. Also, for them to post online about it afterwards, talk about petty. Talk about petty. Be a grown-up. You're trashing a child. What do you mean? I'm someone that holds my tongue on the internet now, and I am so thankful I do. And the more I do it, the more I realize you should not be airing out your dirty laundry online. That's just not cute. You're an adult. They're a child. What are you doing? Then someone commented to that comment and said, they also had no right to store the book on it. You may want to have your school's IT look it over to make sure they didn't put any kind of controls on it. And someone said, or see if you can undelete it and share it on social media. Someone's like, that's illegal. Don't tell a minor to do that. Oh my God. Someone said, I just had to sign a waiver to my son's school Chromebook, and basically anything you do on it, the school has access to it, regardless of what it is. If Sam was the guardian, she'd have had to sign it. If the school ends up having reason to go after Sam for whatever, it could come out in discovery. It was a real bonehead to move to use the kid's school laptop for anything not school related. Yeah, everyone's saying, not the asshole. Clearly, when it comes to adults and children and adults being a dick, the child's in the right always. Like, that's just what it is. Also, you're 15, get off Reddit. Get off the internet. Go play hopscotch or something. Yeah, everyone's saying not the asshole. It wasn't hers to take, and she already made it clear she didn't intend to return it. She had better be lucky no one else is looking deeper into whatever the file was, and stop antagonizing a child. Yeah, not the asshole. Sounds like you handled it really well. Glad you got your Chromebook back. Also, a lot of people don't realize a lot of situations, if you want to call the cops, do the non-emergency hotline. Don't fill up 911. Figure out what it is, what the hotline is. But yeah, if they have time, they're going to come out. I think you handled it well. Someone said, not the asshole. Story doesn't even matter. They're adults. That's it. Exactly. However, they did something wrong and tried to lord some power over a 15-year-old. They backed you into a corner where you felt the only option was to call the police, and now they're bullying you for it? At every corner, it seems like you've just been reacting, trying to get what you need for your first day of school, and they used manipulative language like setting boundaries to try and stop you from getting it. Please don't question how you acted. From what you've written here, you've done absolutely nothing wrong. Dude, yeah, I forgot about the boundary setting. That's not a boundary. People don't know what boundaries are. I hate it. Okay, this one's intriguing. We're moving on. Next one. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend I understood why his fiance is so disappointed that he proposed to her at the gym? Oh, no. Listen, everyone wants a different type of proposal. Some people want a huge public splash. Some people want private and intimate. Some people like casual. Some people just want it to be special and romantic. There's so many different ways to do a proposal. Like something that's super meaningful, something that's new and exciting. Like there are so many different ways to go about a proposal. Everyone likes something different. But let's read what happened. Because like a lot of people love a Disneyland proposal. I would hate that. Some people love the Jumbotron. I would hate that. There's just so many different types to go about it. So let's see. I, a 27-year-old female, was excited when my best friend, a 27-year-old male, told me he had proposed to his girlfriend, a 29-year-old female. He said he had the proposal on video. I was so confused when the video started out in a woman's gym. Oh, no. Also, tell your female best friend that you're proposing so she can give you a little help. Dylan reached out to me, Zara, and Abby when he was going to propose to Joy. And he was like, hey, I want to make this perfect for her. I know her so well, but let's just go over this together. And he did great. Abby, I was like, I know a company that can help. He did fantastic. It was perfect. It's everything she wanted. He could have done great on his own, but he decided to double check and reach out to the female friends. Bless him. He's a smart man. He is a very, very smart man. Anyway, when I saw his girlfriend on the exercise machine in the video, I had a bad feeling. She looked so shocked, and she said yes. She only looked happy for 2 minutes, and the rest of the time, she gave an insecure smile. Yeah, girl was in the middle of a workout. Her heart rate was going. She's sweating. Her face is red. Her makeup is not on. Her hair is back in a messy ponytail. It is loud and stinky in a gym. If she wanted something intimate and romantic, because that's another thing. Some people like want to get engaged in the middle of a hike. They're like at the top of the hike at our favorite point, whatever, and they don't care that they're wearing their hiking clothes, grungy, whatever. But there's some people who are like, I need to be in full glam, my nails done. Like everyone has a different preference. So let's continue. My best friend expressed frustration that his fiance had confessed she wasn't happy with the proposal after he asked her why she looked so sad. He was venting to me and asked me how I would feel if a guy proposed to me while I was at the gym. I guess he really expected me to agree with him, but I said I would hate that. I said I don't want to be proposed to when I'm all sweaty and stinky at the gym. I basically explained to him that I understood why she was disappointed. My best friend called me shallow and a bad friend. Am I the asshole? Not even a little. He's the asshole. It's one thing to be like, oh, she's going to love this. Like she loves working out. We met in the gym, whatever. Like he's like, she doesn't care about looks. She's going to love this. And then when she doesn't, get mad at everyone else. No, like he's an asshole. He's putting in the bare minimum. I'm getting mad when he's called out for it. But let's see what the comment said. Don't ask questions you aren't ready to hear the answer to. I mean, I agree with you. A gym is an odd place to propose unless there's a specific reason for it. Like that's where you met and you love that story and that's how you bond or whatever. He's just upset that he disappointed his fiance and he needs to come to terms with that. And then someone said he's not even upset he disappointed her. He's upset she wasn't grateful for the thoughtful proposal. After all, he said OP was quote unquote shallow. So what does that say about what he thinks about his fiance? The proposal was basically a shit test, in my opinion. I've seen this a lot, a shit test. It's been going around TikTok where guys put in the bare minimum, give you like fucking shit, and then see if you'll accept it. And so they know where they can put the bar for themselves. I'm sure some women do this as well, but women are talking about it, men doing this specifically on TikTok a lot. I want to see what other people say though. Cause yeah, I met a guy once. I was like, I'm going to propose. He's like, I already know how I'll propose to whatever girl I propose to at the top of a hike. And I was like, she's not going to like that. She's going to be all sweaty and gross. And he's like, I would never marry someone that would mind that. Like, he's like, I want to marry someone who would also love that. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. If that's the type of person you want to be with, then that makes sense. Not saying like that's the bad type of person. Like someone who just doesn't care, loves being outdoors, grungy, whatever. And they don't need to be flashy for Instagram. Love that. Actually love that. But he wants his girlfriend to be bare minimum, sweaty, grungy, what? And he's mad that it didn't turn out that way. Whoopsie. Someone said his thoughtfulness at such an important step for the relationship does not bode well for the future treatment towards his wife, if she marries him, and future kids. OP is not the asshole, but her friend, exactly. It almost sounds like you don't want to get married at a Burger King. Quote unquote, he's upset she wasn't grateful for a thoughtless proposal. And then they said, what is it with men who think just turning up is enough? She should be grateful to have my company. Get over yourself, man. Do better. Think. Yeah, I mean, if I ever proposed to Abby, it would be a thoughtful, intimate thing. Because I know her. I know she doesn't like to be the center of attention in a group of people. Like, she will tear up a dance floor, but she doesn't like throwing birthday parties for herself. She doesn't like all eyes on her. And we both like meaningful things. So it would have to be in a spot that we both know that meant something to us about our relationship. And it would have to be private, just her and I. Like, if you are going to propose, I'm not saying I am, but if you are going to propose to someone, you have to know what they would want, truly. Also, it is crazy to me when people propose and marriage has not been talked about in the relationship. That blows my mind. So Joy didn't know her proposal was coming at all. But the year prior, she had told Dylan, I'm ready. I'm good. Ball's in your court whenever you think it's right. This is the type of ring I want. I don't expect you to do this anytime soon, but I'm just letting you know I love you. I want to marry you. And this is the ring I want. And he said, okay. And I think it was less than a year went by, maybe like 6 months. And then he did it, but he never talked to her about it again. But she gave him the green light, what she wanted. She didn't say anything about a proposal, like what she'd wanted out of a proposal, but he knows her well enough to know she also doesn't want to really be the center of attention. And he combined her favorite things: horses, her dog, me, and the beach. I was just there for the dog. She loves horseback riding. She absolutely loves the beach. It's what centers her. And she loves Louis more than anything else on this planet. So that's what he did. Win. That's how you do it. You cater it to the person. She shouldn't marry him. He's a dick. Someone says, not the asshole. That's a super weird setting unless they're both major gym rats. And I'm always wary about super public proposals because it feels like that person doing the proposal is applying pressure. That is 100% true. He asked you, you were honest. He didn't like your answer. That's 100% on him. Him calling you shallow actually makes it worse. This feels like the kind of thing that was basically testing the fiance. Like, is she going to be a quote unquote cool girl, or will she be disappointed / upset by the thoughtless proposal? If he thinks you're shallow for not liking it, what does he think about her? Your friend doesn't sound like a great dude. I wouldn't want to be proposed to at a gym. Yeah, again, everyone's like, if they met and loved the gym together, like I know people who have met at F45 and go to every class together, blah, 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 blah. That all they do is wear workout clothes and work out together. That seems correct. Otherwise, but the fact that she was at a female gym means that he doesn't work out with her there because it's a female gym. All right, we'll read one more. Am I the asshole for not canceling long-standing plans for a barbecue that I just found out about? I don't know what this means. They're long-standing plans that you just found out about and you're not canceling it. I don't understand. Let's read it. My wife and I made plans back in January with a group of friends to go to a beer festival in the mountains. My father-in-law has a rental property in the mountains, which we reserved for the weekend, and we all just got tickets to the festival. It's 3 families and some other friends, so about 9 people total. The festival is Labor Day weekend, and my grandparents invited us and some other family to a barbecue that weekend, so we won't be able to attend because we're doing the beer festival. I texted my grandpa and let him know we wouldn't be able to make it because we already had plans that weekend. He said he understood, and that was no problem. Okay. Oh, I understand the headline now. Am I an asshole for not canceling long-standing plans for a barbecue that I just found out about? Oh my God, guys, it took me forever to understand the title. You just found out about a barbecue, but you've already had plans. Now people are mad you didn't cancel the plans for the barbecue. Got it. Reading more. But then my mom texted me asking me why I couldn't come. And I told her why. She told me she's very disappointed and that I need to make this barbecue a priority and that I should cancel the plans of going to the beer festival. Wait, why should you make the barbecue a priority? What? She then goes on to guilt trip me, saying my grandparents are in their 80s and we won't have many more opportunities for get-togethers. For context, we live in the same state/city as my grandparents and we see them 2 to 3 times a month minimum. She told me a beer festival is not a good reason to blow off my grandparents and that I need to reconsider my priorities. You're not blowing off your grandparents. You already had plans and can't go to the thing. You can be like, hey, you want to get lunch when we get back? You can do that. Your mom sounds like a very controlling individual. I told her I couldn't cancel. The house is booked and the tickets are paid for. And I told her that if it was just our family and no friends going, then we'd forego the festival and come to the barbecue. But that I didn't think it was fair to our friends to cancel long-standing plans for a barbecue we just found out about. Not to mention telling them they'd either have to eat the cost of the ticket or find a different place to rent. I told my mom if it was any other weekend or even Monday of the long weekend instead of Saturday that we would be there and we weren't blowing them off. It's a scheduling conflict. And she disagrees and is very pissed off at me. Am I the asshole? No. Not even a little bit. Simply not even 1%. Someone said, not the asshole. Tell her she raised you right to be reliable and a trustworthy guy. Someone who doesn't cancel on people or ruin their plans. If she argues, she shot herself in the foot. Oh, that's so smart. I love that. Not the asshole. Also, remind your mother that you're an adult. Yeah, what the fuck? She sounds very controlling and that you're letting her have too much influence on your life. Not the asshole. You are entirely right in your explanation. My guess is your mom has been doing that stuff your entire life. This is just the latest instance. OP says, bingo, she 100% has been doing this my whole entire life. My parents are divorced also. So the holidays have always been a guilt trip central, especially now that I have a wife who also has a family we want to see. It's a mess. Yeah, you're going to need to put up actual boundaries on your mother. Or not on her, but on yourself, being like, I'm not answering her phone calls. I'm not letting her speak to me this way. I'm not going to respond if she starts trying to guilt trip me. Simple as that. Yeah, your mom just sounds like a controlling butthead. So I'm going to say not the asshole on that. And guys, that is it for today. That's all we have. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Thank you for being here. I love you all so freaking much. And I will see you next week with Abby or Joy. Who knows? It's a nice little wonder. It's a nice little mystery, isn't it? Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye! Thank you for listening to this episode of Rachel Uncensored, the only place on the internet where you can find the uncensored version of me, Rachel Ballinger. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, or follow, or do whatever this platform tells you to do so that you can get notified every time I post a new episode. Love ya!